I'm about to make dinner. And before I do, I want to give you guys a basic understanding of how to eat right so that you can gain muscle. So one of the biggest problems I see with a lot of people is they'll go to the gym, they'll work out hard, they'll put a lot of work in, and then they don't eat right. They either won't eat enough or they won't eat the right things, and they won't see any gains, and then they quit because they think the work that they put in didn't show for anything. 70% of your muscle growth and muscle gain is gonna be what you eat. What I wanna do in this video is give you a basic understanding of the right foods to eat and how much to eat for your specific goals. So go ahead and get your pen and paper out, get your calculator out, and we're gonna crunch some numbers. So the first thing you wanna know is how much you weigh right now. So if you're looking to gain muscle, look at the weight that you have right now, multiply that by 15, and then add 2 to 400. That is the amount of calories that you should be getting. So if you weigh 160 pounds and you're trying to get up to about 200 pounds, or you're trying to gain muscle, multiply that 160 times 15, and I think it's somewhere around 2,500 or 400, and then add 2 to 400 calories to that. And that's how many calories you should be getting every day. Understand this, calories are just energy. So you need energy to build muscle. You need energy to exercise. You need energy to do everything you do throughout the day. So you need energy. A lot of times people think calories, bad. Calories are bad if you're not doing anything with them. If you're sitting on the couch and you're not doing anything, then yes, it's just all gonna be excess calories, which is gonna turn into fat. So yes, in that sense, if you're not doing anything, then yeah, you don't need many calories. But for all of you that are watching that I know are working out, that I know are trying to get better, we're gonna go ahead and erase that out of our minds and understand calories as energy. So you have three types. You have carbohydrates, you have fats, and you have protein. In 1 gram of carbs, you have 4 calories. In 1 gram of protein, you have 4 calories. But in 1 gram of fat, you have 9 calories. So this is how you want to calculate your macros. So macronutrients. Macros are fats, carbs, and protein. So whenever you hear somebody say macros, I'm counting my macros, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So you want about 1 gram of protein per pound you weigh. So your foods that are rich in protein are going to be your meats, salmon, ground beef, chicken, ground chicken. You got your eggs, canned tuna. So any food that is meat, seafood, even your dairies are going to be very high in protein. Now let's move to your fats. You want 0.25 to 0.5 grams of fat per body weight that you weigh. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you want anywhere between 25 to 50 grams of fats in your diet per day. So some examples would be, as I said before, peanut butter, sunflower seeds, olive oil, extra virgin. And these help with your hormone health and also give you extra energy throughout the day because, as we said before, fat contains 9 calories rather than just 4 calories, which are like protein and carbs. They only have 4 calories, fat has 9. So you get more energy per gram of fat, but you also want to use the right kind and you want to use it sparingly. Now we've got one of the most important segments of your diet, which are the carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. You've got oatmeal, pasta, rice, quinoa, and you've got things like Ezekiel bread. You've got couscous, you've got fruits, vegetables. Many of those are good carbohydrates. You want them to be your complex carbohydrates. You don't want it to be your carbohydrates that are high in the simple sugars like candy or things like that. You want a lot of it to be your complex carbohydrates, your wheats, your grains, things like that, that really have lasting energy. Now, when you do use the simple sugars, you want those to be from things like fruits, an apple, pears, peaches, things that are really sweet but naturally sweet and not just added with a bunch of artificial sugar and sweeteners are going to be the things that you want to look for. So, with your carbohydrates, after you've figured out, you take your how many grams of fat you're going to have per day, multiply that by 9. Then take your protein, how many grams of protein you need per day, multiply that by 4. Take that number, and whatever is left over from the amount that you need per day, the amount of calories you need per day, you subtract that by what you have left, and then that number you divide by 4, and that's how many grams of carbohydrates you need a day. So, one of the special foods that I left out intentionally because they're kind of tricky are your beans, pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans. All these are going to be high in carbohydrates, but they also have protein in them. So the interesting thing about these is, as you can see, pinto beans have 7 grams of protein, but protein from a plant base, which are what beans are, plant-based food, is going to be an incomplete protein. So if you are vegan or you can't eat meat or you're vegetarian, make sure that when you have these incomplete proteins, that you combine them with a complex carbohydrate like rice or pasta or oats or things like that, and that will make it a complete protein. Now, for everybody that doesn't understand how this works, on the back you can see the macros of your meal. So for every food that you buy from the grocery store, pretty much every food that you have will have the nutrition facts on the back. It'll tell you how many calories, and then it'll tell you where these calories come from. So it'll say how many grams of fat. Okay, pinto beans, 0 grams of fat. Carbohydrates, 20 grams of carbohydrates. So multiply 20 times 4, what do you get? 80. And then 70 grams of protein times 4, you get 28. I think that's right. Yeah, you get 28. 28 plus 80 equals around 110. Make sure you're looking at the back of everything you buy to see your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats so that you can figure out how many calories you need and the percentage that is right for you. So with that said, thank you for checking out this video, and make sure if you need a custom plan, feel free to DM me. The link for the Instagram is below in the description. Feel free to send me a DM and I can help you get a customized plan for you in particular and for the goals that you're trying to achieve. So it's going to be different for everybody, but this is for somebody who it's very hard for them to gain muscle and they're trying to gain muscle. This is the meal plan for them. But if you want a meal plan customized for yourself, send me a DM, we'll talk it over and we'll see what we can work with. So this is just a very basic understanding so you can understand where to start. But thank you guys for checking out this video, and I hope it helps you in your goals. Have a great day.